What's up guys, John from ARTV. It's time for a review of the third studio album by pop punk group The Story So Far. This one is a self-titled album, and it's the follow-up to 2013's What You Don't See, an album that you really let me have it for in the comments because apparently I had no clue what I was talking about. But yet whenever I review Real Friends or As It Is and give that pretty much the same score, the comments seem to be a lot more level-headed. But whatever, I'm not exactly sure what happened there, but diving into the story so far, I do see this as a bit of a step up from that last album. Now that's not to say that there aren't a lot of things that could be improved upon. Now, I put pop punk in quotation marks mainly because I don't see them as being a pop punk group. I see them as being more of a rock band with some punk leaning tendencies, and that really shines through in some of their instrumental choices. There's some fast-paced drumming, some skillful guitar playing, and that shows up on tracks like the single Heavy Gloom, of course the track Nerve, which is two of my favorites right there, and then on the track Solo, which has some of my favorite guitar work on the entire album. Now the downfall a lot of the time, not always, I'm not going to say that it's always the number one problem on every single track, but lead singer Parker Cannon just seems like he's taking an idea, or he's taking this vulnerability or whatever he's feeling and just kind of like yell sings it to get his point across, and it's like he's trying to cram it into our brains or else down our throats, and I'm not really a fan of that the majority of the time. Near the end of this record, tracks like Stalemate and then even Scowl are just ones that just feel so contrived and from a place that I've heard so many times. It's like, you know, I had to listen to this album. I literally listened to this thing 7 times and I was having a hard time differentiating tracks and looking at a title and being like, oh yeah, this one goes like that. I can usually do that after like maybe like 2 or 3 listens to an album. Even with As It Is, tracks like dial tones and stuff like that, there were ones that jumped out to me. But here with The Story So Far, it really takes me maybe like 20 seconds of actually getting into a track before I'm just like, oh yeah, it's this one. Let's tackle a few positive things about this record, things that I liked. I already mentioned liking the track Heavy Gloom just because all around it seems like a very well crafted track, and of course Solo, the instrumental on that one, was absolutely fantastic, I thought. There's a couple of other tracks that I'm really digging as well. Mock and How Are You come back to back and kind of work nicely off of each other. One fades into the other, and then How Are You coming second kind of has a choppy guitar on it that kind of chugs along and progresses the song, and I feel like the vocals here on this track are actually not off-putting at all. I feel like Cannon, it actually works with what he's saying. He actually comes across angsty rather than just forceful. Nerve comes directly after that, and I'm kind of on the fence with that one because the vocals are just kind of like and actually kind of like the instrumental. It's catchy and kind of like chugs along. It reminds me of something maybe like, I don't know, Chunk No Captain Chunk. I do like some of the instrumentals from that band while I don't really care for their lyrics or vocal style some of the time, and that definitely becomes a problem for me with this band. But that track in particular, it's a lot of fun in some ways, and I feel like, yeah, okay, they could have connected, they had the idea there, but then it just kind of crumbles in some regards, and I see that as being a problem that a lot of the album has. There's not a solid foundation lining this thing. There are threads holding it together, and in places it's like standing tall, and in other places it's kind of like starting to fall down. Don't really care for the opening cut Smile. It just kind of starts abruptly and feels like more of the same from The Story So Far. It feels like them playing it safe. Tracks like that, Distaste, and of course I mentioned the 2 closing tracks here on this record, Scowl and Stalemate. There's just a lot of stuff that doesn't do that much for me. But hey, it's not just me. I'm not the only one with an opinion on this record. I actually have my buddy Richard from Here Lies Music.
Thank you, John. I can't defend this.
Paid him for a 10-minute feature and that's all I got. I don't really know how much I'm going to be coming back to this record or how much of a shelf life the album's going to have, but tracks like Heavy Gloom, Nerve, Mock, maybe even How Are You, I see myself playing throughout the summer, but beyond that, we'll have to see. Time always tells. These are all just my opinions though. Let me know what you're thinking about the new Story So Far record in the comments section down below. For me personally, I'm giving this album a very generous 3 out of 5. Thanks to Here Lies Music for making an appearance in today's review. If you would like to check out his channel, well, he does some very unique album reviews. They're only about 10 seconds each, and if you saw how the one today went and you were intrigued, you're definitely going to want to check out his channel. He's got some great stuff. Click the link on screen, or check the link in the description down below. If you want to see my last review or my vlog channel, click those floating links right below me, and check the description for more information about this record. While you're down there, hit the like button, let me know your thoughts on the Story So Far's self-titled album, and maybe subscribe to the channel because friends don't let friends go unsubscribed. If there's any other albums you'd like to see me tackle, let me know about them, and I'll try and review them if I can. I plan on doing Brandon Flowers, Zed, Jared Alonji, Alonji? Who knows? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you very soon right here on ARTV.